Mm. It started with a sound against my window, soft enough to ignore, until I couldn't. By the time I stepped outside, I wasn't walking through the day's rain, I was walking through yours. Every rainy day finds you again. One umbrella, one sidewalk, your shoulder getting wetter, because mine wasn't. The sky keeps falling, and so do the memories. One afternoon I forgot my jacket. You stood outside my building holding an umbrella that looked too small for both of us. We laughed every time our sleeves brushed together. Neither of us walked any faster. Every rainy day finds you again, not in the storm, but in the little kindnesses. The way you tilted the umbrella, the way you never mentioned your soaked sleep. We once waited under the awning of a little bakery. The rain came down too hard to leave, so we guessed stories about strangers running by. By the time the clouds opened, I almost wish they hadn't. Not because of the weather, because I liked being stuck there with you. Keeps me dry, but sometimes I notice I'm standing a little closer to one side, like part of me still expects someone else to fit beneath it. Every rainy day finds you again, not to keep me looking back, just to remind me how gently I was loved. The rain passes, the streets grow quiet. I keep walking, carrying one umbrella and countless soft memories that still fall with every rain. Morning light, half awake, my hand reaches to your side of the bed. Cold sheets, nothing there, still it goes there first. One more plate, then I stop. The pen is already full. I stand there holding a wooden spoon, counting someone who isn't coming home. My mind moved on, my body missed the memo. My body still remembers you before I do. Small mistakes, quiet habits of life that forgot. signal changes, so do I. One more block, one deep breath. Home is somewhere else now. Maybe love doesn't leave all at once. Maybe it leaves one habit at a time. My body still remembers you before my heart can say your name. An empty side, an extra plate, one wrong turn, then I'm here again. My body still remembers you. Maybe one day it won't. The best nights never made a photograph, no candles, no reservations, just the TV talking while neither of us listened. You stretched out across the couch, I stole half the blanket. We spent an hour trying to choose what to watch and fell asleep before anything ended. I don't miss the extraordinary, I miss the ordinary, the silence that never felt empty, the nights that asked nothing from us. I didn't know those little hours were the ones I carry forever. You'd hand me the towel without looking, I'd already know which cabinet you meant. We argued about the dishes like it actually mattered. You'd wash, I'd dry. 5 minutes later, one of us would laugh first. It was never worth winning. I don't miss the extraordinary, I miss brushing our teeth at the same sink, saying goodnight without wondering if it was the last one. Some evenings we hardly talked. You read, I folded laundry, the room filled itself with tiny sounds, pages turning, closet doors, bare footsteps across the floor. Back then I thought nothing was happening. Now I know everything was. Love didn't always sound like promises. Sometimes it sounded like, can you grab the lights? Did you lock the door? I'm already in bed. Small sentences, soft routines, a whole life hidden inside them. I don't miss the extraordinary, I miss coming home without feeling alone. One quiet room, 2 ordinary lives, nothing worth posting, nothing worth celebrating, only the kind of evening you never think will become the thing you miss the most. wasn't looking for your name tonight, just cleaning up my phone in bed. Old screenshots, saved receipts, random notes, trying to make a little room instead. I hit shuffle without thinking twice, while the ceiling blurred above my eyes. Then 4 familiar seconds filled the room before the first line even arrived. My thumb was already over next, like muscle memory knew the move, but somehow it forgot to press the moment that guitar came through. Months can pass so quietly until a song remembers for you. It wasn't even my favorite song, it was yours before it became mine. Now every note still knows the road back to that apartment after midnight. I could skip but my hands stay still, like I'm waiting for a voice that won't arrive. You're gone from every room I know, but your playlist still survives. The title still says late drive home. You always name things way too simply. Track 3 still melts into track 4, exactly how you wanted me to hear it. I never changed the cover photo, that blurry street beneath the rain. Your account still sits on Spotify, quiet as an unopened frame. I wonder if you made new playlists for someone else's Friday night, while yours keeps looping in my pocket, like time forgot to log me out. Maybe memories don't knock first, maybe they fade in like an intro. No warning, no permission, just 4 small seconds, and suddenly I'm sitting beside you again, watching traffic lights change through the windshield. It wasn't even my favorite song, it only sounds like you somehow. Every shuffle feels unfair tonight, like chance remembers better than I do. I should delete the whole playlist, close the page and clear the space, but every song you placed in order still knows exactly where you stood. Maybe that's why I leave it there, not for the music, for the person who chose what came next. Rush hour, crosswalk lights, a navy jacket, moving through the crowd. I turn before I even think, just one shoulder, one familiar stride. By the time the light changes, it's someone else. Someone walks past, the air shifts, the same sea descent. We're close enough, my feet stop. The city doesn't, cars keep moving, people keep talking. Only I lose a second to someone who isn't you. I don't go looking still, I keep finding pieces that almost fit. Every crowd borrows your outline, every laugh almost sounds right. For one small moment, the world leans towards you, then turns into someone else, and I keep walking. A stranger holds the door, smile the same way. Not the same eyes, not the same voice. Still I notice, then I hate that I noticed how unfair to measure someone against a memory they never met. Maybe the city is full of strangers. Maybe my heart keeps borrowing your face to fill the distance, and every crowd borrows your outline. Every passing scent pulls me around. I know it's never you, I know before I look, but still I turn still. I stop still for one quiet heartbeat. A certain quiet heartbeat. A certain quiet heartbeat. I caught myself saying we'll figure it out, the same way you always did. Soft enough to calm the room. I stopped halfway through. Not because the words were wrong, because they sounded too much like you. My coffee circles twice, never three. You used to say it tasted better that way. I laughed at you every single morning. Now I do it without looking. The spoon taps the mug. 1, 2, exactly like yours. You left, but some of you stayed. In little words, in quiet hands, in the way I laugh before I answer. You're gone, still parts of you keep introducing themselves as me. I fold my sleeves before washing dishes. You always hated wet cuffs. I never understood why, until one evening I reached for the sink and rolled them up without thinking. I smiled and I didn't. You left, but some of you stayed in little habits I never chose, in borrowed phrases, in borrowed pauses. I hear myself from across the room, and for a second it's you. Maybe this is what loving someone does. You don't keep their jacket or their keys. You keep the way they reached for ordinary days. Without asking, they rearranged the smallest corners of you. You left, but some of you stayed. Not enough to hold, not enough to bring you back, just enough to catch me on ordinary afternoons. One small word, one small smile, one quiet habit, and suddenly I'm carrying both of us again. The left side still sinks a little deeper. Not enough for anyone else to notice. But every evening when I sit down, my hand finds the space beside it. Before I do, this couch still holds the shape of us. One blanket, two corners, one quiet place where we forgot the rest of the world. Now I sit in the same room, listening to the space between the cushions. The blanket is folded the way we always left it, not neatly, just enough to pull it over without unfolding the whole thing. I reached for it last night for 1 second. My hands remembered there used to be someone else holding the other side. This couch still holds the shape of us. Your favorite corner, my crossed legs, movies we barely watched, 'cause talking always won. Some evenings still lean that way. I turned the cushion over last week and thought maybe it would help. It looked brand new, but somehow that felt even lonelier. So I flipped it back. Some things don't need to be erased to be lived with. It's funny how a room can grow quieter without changing where anything is. The shelves, the lamp, the window, everything stayed except the weight that made this place feel lived in. This couch still holds the shape of us, not because you're coming back, not because I'm waiting, just because loved ones sat here, laughed here, fell asleep here. I smooth the blanket before I leave, a small goodbye for one more ordinary evening we shared. They call my name at the end of the meeting. Everyone clapped, someone said, "You earned this." I laughed, said thank you, held the little envelope all the way outside. The first thing I reached for wasn't my keys, it was you. You're still the first person I wanna tell before the smile settles, before the moment fades. My heart still turns your way. Then I remember there's nowhere to bring this happiness. A little bookstore downtown had that mug we both laughed about. I almost said, "Look at this," out loud. The woman beside me turned for a second. I smiled, pretended I was talking to myself. Maybe I was. You're still the first person I wanna tell the good news. up gift, set it on the kitchen table, made tea, looked at the empty chair without meaning to. Some victories sound smaller when only one cup is waiting to cool. No one warned you, joy can echo too. Not because it isn't real, because it has no one to share it with. You're still the first person I wanna tell. Maybe that's what love leaves behind. Not only the tears, but every beautiful thing that still reaches for your name before it reaches anyone else. You said I always stole the blankets. I said only because you roll over like you're swimming. You laughed, I tried not to. Then we both lost the kind of laugh that makes it hard to breathe. I remember thinking this is us, without knowing I was asleep in my dreams. We're still becoming us. We argue, we laugh, we fall quiet. We find each other all over again. Then I wake, holding feelings with nowhere to put them. You made a face when I beat you at a card game. I teased you for acting dramatic. You reached over to steal the cards, pretending you never lost. I called you impossible, you called me stubborn somehow. Those words felt like home. In my dreams, nothing needs explaining. You know I'm quiet, I know when you're pretending. Every little feeling still has a place to go, until morning undoes all of it. At one point I started crying, not because we were fighting, not because anything was wrong. You just looked at me the way you used to, like there was time to sit beside it. You didn't fix it, you stayed, and somehow that was enough. When I wake, I never miss the dream. First I miss the feeling of being understood without trying, the feeling of belonging to one quiet moment with you. In my dreams, we're still becoming us. One joke, one sigh, one gentle argument, one laugh that lasts too long. Then morning opens the room, and all I get to keep is how it felt to love you for one more night. You're doing okay? Someone asked between bites of dinner. I smiled, said yeah, I'm good. Easy words, well rehearsed. They nodded, and the conversation kept moving like nothing needed saving. Now where I'm okay, like a favorite coat, it fits every room except my own. The moment the front door closes, it slips right off. At work, I remember birthdays. I laugh at the right moments. I ask, how was your weekend? Like I'm still someone with simple answers. No one sees how quiet the elevator feels on the way home. I where I'm okay until the lights go low. I carry conversations, I carry jokes. Then I unlock my little apartment and finally put everything down. The room doesn't ask how I'm doing. It doesn't need a brave face. I lean against the closed door, stand there a little longer than I mean to. The silence waits for me to stop pretending, so I do. It's strange how exhausting a smile can be when it's holding everything together. No one lied to me, I just kept saying I'm fine, until I almost believed it. I wear I'm okay for everyone else, then I come home to the truth. No applause, no conversation, just one quiet room where I don't have to be the stronger version of myself tonight. The only one who knows I'm not okay is the silence. The room is blue from my phone. I told myself I'd go to sleep. Instead, I open our old thread. Your picture is gone, your name is still there. My thumb starts typing before I can stop it. Are you awake too much? I miss you, too honest. I just wanna delete, delete, delete. The blinking cursor waits for words. I'll never let it send. No music, no TV, just the sound of trying not to cry. I still wanna hear your voice just once, just enough to remember how my name used to sound. I press my face into the pillow, not because it helps, because I don't want the neighbors to know I'm falling apart again. The clock changes to 3:41. Nothing changes with me. My glass of water is still full. The message is still empty. The bed is still too wide. People say, don't text them, as if the hardest part is sending in. It isn't. The hardest part is needing. can hear me. Your hoodie's hanging on the chair again, sleeves too long, brushing over my hands. The drawstrings still remember your knots. I never learned to tie them that way. I wore it through another midnight drive, windows cracked to let the city breathe. Back then your cologne lived in the cotton. Now I have to close my eyes to find it. I keep saying I'll wash it tomorrow, then tomorrow quietly slips away. The coffee stain along the pocket seam feels safer than watching it fade. Maybe fabric keeps a different clock, holding on a little longer than hearts do. Every thread knows something I don't. So I sleep inside your oversized hoodie, borrowing a shape that isn't mine. Every night the scent gets lighter, like a letter left beside the window. I don't wear it for the warmth anymore. It's the last place your shadow fits. You never came back for this hoodie, so it keeps proving you were here. It's buried underneath my winter coats, like I'm hiding somewhere from myself. Every season folds another memory between the fabric and the shelf. The cuffs are softer than they used to be from too many nights around my wrists. Your scent is almost only memory now, mixed with my perfume and the rain. Sometimes I think about returning it, then I picture your unfamiliar door. Some distances are better measured by the things we never hand back. One day this cotton won't remember, not your laugh, not the way you hug me goodbye. Only stretched out sleeves and quiet fibers. Maybe that's how healing looks. Not forgetting, just running out of proof. So I sleep inside your oversized hoodie, even though it smells more like me now. Still I reach for it without thinking. Every time the room gets quiet, I won't call and you won't knock. That story already chose its end, but folded in the back of my closet, your hoodie keeps one version of us, until even the cotton lets go. It wasn't even meant for me, just one more swipe. Late on a Tuesday night, a photo, warm lights, your smile, one I hadn't seen in a long, long time. Someone stood beside you, not close enough to tell the story, just close enough that I stopped scrolling. A friend said I ran into them, they seem really happy. Nothing cruel, nothing wrong, just a sentence that stayed with me. Long after we said goodbye, I smiled, changed the subject, walked home a little slower. Maybe the hardest part wasn't losing you, it was learning. Time kept moving without me. You already found tomorrow, I'm still folding yesterday. Not because I want want you back. Just because my heart takes longer than yours, I hope you're smiling, I really do. I just wish this ache had learned to smile too. Your poster's still on my screen, my thumb hovers over the little heart. I don't press it, I don't hide it, I just lock my phone and watch my reflection in the dark window. Healing isn't a race, no one wins. Some people cross first, some people stop to look back one last time. You already found tomorrow, I'll get there, just not tonight. The story keeps going, mine does too. The day looked ordinary until I saw the number. Then all at once I knew the coffee tasted the same, the sky wore the same pale blue. Funny how a calendar can't remember before I do. I almost typed happy birthday, the words appear like they always did. Then I watched them sit inside an empty message. A minute passed, then another. I erased every letter except your name inside my head. Some days are only days, some days still know us. The year moved on, this day didn't. It found me right where I was. No candles, no wishes, just one quiet evening. I never wrote down, never forgot. The year moved on. This date didn't. The trees are green the way they were the first time we met. The air carries that same soft evening breeze. I don't believe in signs anymore, but seasons have perfect timing. Maybe love doesn't live inside photographs. Maybe it hides inside dates no one else remembers. The year moved on, and maybe I did too, just slower than the calendar. Next year this day will come again. Maybe it will hurt less, maybe I'll simply smile and whisper, I remember. Then let the morning arrive. Yeah. You used to point at little towns whenever we drove past the signs. We should spend a weekend there, you'd say, like we had years we couldn't lose. A cabin with a crooked porch, a diner open way past midnight, a road we'd never take taken home. We kept collecting little somedays, like spare change in the cup holder, never thinking we'd run out of road. You laughed about gray hair, said we'd argue over what movie to watch when we were 70. I can still hear you saying, promise me we'll never stop traveling. Funny, the map stayed folded, the promise didn't. I don't miss yesterday tonight. I miss the mornings that never came, the coffee we never poured, the keys we never picked up, the life that only lived inside. One day there's a beach we never reached, a photo we never took, a grocery list with 2 favorite cereals that never sat in the same kitchen. Sometimes I wonder if those places still waited for people who never arrived. I don't miss yesterday tonight. I miss the words that had no ending. We should, next summer when we're older, they still echo with nowhere to land. No one tells you a future can become a memory too. You grieve places you never saw, days you never lived, promises that never got the chance to become ordinary. I don't miss yesterday tonight. I miss the version of us still making plans, still pointing at exit signs, still saying, not now, we'll go someday. That someday never learned how to become today. This morning I walked the long way home, not because I was avoiding anything, just because the trees were finally green again. A little kid ran ahead of his mom, arms wide open, laughing at the wind. For the first time in a long while I smiled, without looking over to see who else saw it. I'm glad I loved you, even if we couldn't stay. You gave me pieces of myself I never knew were waiting, so this goodbye isn't empty, it's full of thank you. You taught me how to slow down on rainy afternoons, how silence doesn't always need fixing, how ordinary days can become the ones we remember longest. I still carry those lessons only now, they belong to me. I'm glad I loved you, I don't need another ending. chain now, a different grocery list folded in my pocket. New neighbors who know my name, new mornings that belong only to me. Life didn't replace you, it simply kept moving, and somehow so did I. If our paths cross again, I hope we don't look away. I hope we smile the way people do, and they know they once held something beautiful. Nothing owed, nothing missing, only gratitude walking beside us. I'm glad I loved you, that's the sentence I couldn't say until now. So take every wish I never learned how to give. I'll take every kindness you left with me. Thank you for every ordinary day. Thank you for every version of me that learned to love because of you. Goodbye, with both hands open and a heart that finally knows. Letting go can also be an act of love. This morning I pulled the curtains open. The room looked exactly the same, only the light had been waiting longer than I realized. I stood there for a while, letting the sun find places I forgot were still mine. Maybe today I'll take one step, not far, not fast, just enough to know my feet still remember how to move. Maybe today is enough. The invitation had been sitting on the counter for weeks. I almost threw it away. Instead, I circled the date. I don't know if I'll stay long, but I think I'll go. That feels new enough. Maybe today I'll take one step, a little earlier out of bed, a little longer outside, a little less afraid of tomorrow than yesterday. Maybe today is enough. There are still quiet moments that catch me, a familiar street, an empty chair at the corner of a room. The ache hasn't disappeared, it just doesn't decide every hour anymore. And somehow that feels like healing. Healing never knocked on my door, it slipped in between ordinary moments. A window open, a walk outside, a meal I actually finished. Tiny things, quiet things, enough to notice I'm still here. Maybe today I'll take one step. The road doesn't ask how long I've been hurting, it only waits for this one step. So I'll breathe, open the door, feel the morning on my face. I'm not where I used to be, I'm today I'm finally on my way. Someone left, and without thinking I left too. Not the careful kind I've been wearing, the real one, the kind that leaves before you notice. I caught myself a second later and thought, when did that become possible? Maybe my heart isn't closed. Maybe it's only been resting. I don't know who I'll meet, I don't know when, but tonight for the first time that question doesn't scare me. Someone held the door a little longer than they needed to. We talked for only a minute, nothing special, just weather, weekend plans, ordinary things. Still I noticed my heart didn't pull away. Maybe my heart isn't closed. Maybe it's learning how to open without forgetting. The past still matters, it just doesn't have to be the only story I carry. You'll always be a chapter I read gently, not because I wanna stay there, because it's where I learned how deeply a heart can care. I think there's something worth keeping. Healing was never becoming someone new, it was finding my way back to the parts of me that still believe kindness was worth risking. Maybe that's what love leaves behind, not only memories but courage. Maybe my heart isn't closed. Maybe it's quietly breathing again. If love finds me one more time, I hope I recognize the light. And if it takes a little longer, that's alright, because tonight I looked ahead and didn't look away. Thank you for the love that shaped me. Thank you for the goodbye that changed me. The night is still quiet, but somewhere morning has already begun.